Vikings start their 3-game gauntlet to end the season as they head to LA to take on the Chargers. The Vikings, they absolutely have to win this game if they're going to finalize their path to the playoffs, because after the Chargers game, the final 2 games to end the year, Green Bay Packers, Chicago Bears, both at US Bank Stadium, does not get any easier. And I know we talk about bad luck historically with the Minnesota Vikings, rightfully so, but there are a couple of teams out there who have it just as bad, if not worse in some cases, than the Minnesota Vikings, the LA Chargers being one of them, including this season. Think about this. The Chargers are 5-8 through their first 13 games of the season so far, but it's not like they don't have talent. On defense, they have one of the better pass defenses in the league with Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram leading the charge with the pass rush. They also have Casey Hayward, who presents a tough matchup for Stephon Diggs. And then also they have Derwin James returning for his 3rd straight game after missing the first 11 games of this season with a foot injury. He was first-team All-Pro as a rookie last year. That's ridiculous. Then on offense, they have plenty of offensive weapons to work with. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Hunter Henry, Austin Eckler, Melvin Gordon. And I know they've had problems and issues with their offensive line, but let's be real. The biggest problem for the Chargers, the LA Chargers this year, has been Phillip Rivers. He went from being Superman, or honestly, Superman may be a little bit too complimentary. We'll say Cyclops. Phillip Rivers went from being Cyclops to basically Eli Manning in a year time frame. Now think about this. Every loss that the Chargers have up to this point, 8 losses in their first 13 games of the season so far, every loss that the Chargers have has been by 1 possession. Their average margin of defeat is by less than 5 points. Of those 8 losses, the Chargers, 4 of the Chargers' final offensive possessions ended in interceptions by Phillip Rivers. Another loss ending with turnover on downs. So as a defense, that tells me something. Danielle Hunter and Everson Griffin, you need to pin your ears back and attack Phillip Rivers. Bring the mother bleeping heat on this dude, because a couple of hits that he takes, he gets easily flustered, easily rattled, and it's because he wears his emotions on his sleeves. Get a couple of hits on him, and he's done for the game. Safeties, Anthony Harris, Harrison Smith. Get ready for the inevitable duck throws, duck passes that Phillip Rivers will present to you as Christmas gifts. So far, 20 touchdowns, 15 interceptions in the first 13 games. That's easy cooking right there. Then you need to lock on Austin Eckler. This is equally as important. Lock in on Austin Eckler. So far, he's averaging 100 yards per game from scrimmage, 64 of them receiving yards. So that's something you got to look out for. Vikings offense, it's been reported by Adam Schefter that Adam Thielen is expected to return, barring any setbacks, but I'll believe it when I see it. Adam Thielen has been supposed to return for the last 2 or 3 weeks now. So we'll see. Even if he does come back, will he be 100%? I don't know about that. We'll see. Then when you also consider the tough matchup between Casey Hayward and Stephon Diggs, that's going to open up opportunities for some other guys. So I'm looking at Kyle Rudolph, B.C. Johnson, Irv Smith Jr., and dare I say Laquan Treadwell, who has low-key, not even low-key, he's played well in his second stint with the Minnesota Vikings after getting cut earlier before the season started. So shout out to Laquan Treadwell. And the run game is important as well, because the Chargers' run defense, that presents an area of opportunity for the Vikings' run game. Their defense really isn't all that good, giving up over 100 rushing yards per game. So the only other concerns that I have, now yes, Phillip Rivers, he played well against Jacksonville last week, but that was a lightning in a bottle type of game. For the most part, you can put a hat on this dude and take it from there. And it's an outdoor stadium. It's on the road, so that's another concern. The Vikings, they're used to playing out in the dome at US Bank Stadium, so we'll have to see how it plays out. Bottom line, I do expect the Vikings to win this game. I'm going to say final score 31-17. I'm doing it. Mr. Positivity here, folks. I'm not going to be negative. I'm not going to sit here. I am putting myself out there. My heart is going to be out there just as much as Phillip Rivers and his emotions are out there on his jersey patch, out there on the football field. So we do this 3 times a week. Mediocre at Best Sports Podcast with Realistic Randy. Check me out on Twitter at realistic_Randy. Facebook at Realistic Randy. The next podcast will be on Monday, reacting to the result the outcome of Vikings Chargers. We'll see you then.